What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with a top 12 MAFEX wish list video. These are my top 12 figures that currently that I want to see done by MAFEX. These are figures that, as far as I know, haven't been really either they haven't been made by any toy companies yet, or they have, and I just want to see MAFEX have a particular shot at making them. So this is just going to be my top 12 characters that I want to see made in figure form by Medicom MAFEX. And so yeah, we're just going to run through the list. I'm going to talk about each character on the list very briefly, and why I want to see MAFEX make them. MAFEX, you guys probably know by watching my channel at this point that MAFEX has become like one of my favorite, toy companies at this point, because, for as far as high-end figures and adult collectibles, I think they really do a great job, most of the time when it comes to articulation, sculpt, overall accuracy, and the proportions. I think the proportions are a big thing with MAFEX. Even though they aren't always 100% accurate, I think overall MAFEX does a pretty good job when it comes to the proportions of their figures. So yeah, I think that's why I want to see MAFEX handle these particular characters that I have on this list. And yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to be a little pricey. That's just how import figures work. They're not going to be your standard Marvel Legends price or anything like that. They're going to be worth more because typically they're giving you more, right? More paint, more sculpt, more accessories. So there's a lot more that goes into these this caliber of figures. So yeah, these are the top 12 ones that I want to see. If you have any ideas or any characters that you want to see made by MAFEX, or maybe a toy company that you like, it doesn't have to be MAFEX. It could be any toy company that maybe there's like a character or something that you grew up with, and you want to see a toy company make that hasn't made it yet, then drop a comment below, man. Let me know down in the comments. I'll be happy to read about those and see your ideas and thoughts on those. Because it's always fun to read about stuff like that and see what other collectors are into, and the type of stuff that they grew up with and what they would want to see in plastic form. So yeah, this is just going to be my list, and you guys can let me know your thoughts below. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to get into it. So we're going to work our way up. So we're actually going to start with number 12, and then we're going to work our way up to number 1. Number 1 is going to be like my most desired figure on the list. That's why I put it at number 1. But the rest of the figures aren't necessarily in like a order, so don't expect a ranking. Like I didn't really rank these by like what I want the most. It's just I have number 1 probably like my most desired on the list is definitely number 1. Everything besides number 1 is just kind of in random order, so just know that as we go through this list, all right? But anyways, we'll start with number 12. As you can see on the screen here, it is Mr. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear is one of my all-time favorite characters. So much so that when I was a kid, my mom always reminds me of this. She has a distinct memory of me being at my grandma's house, her mom, when I was very young. And I guess one day my grandma was calling me by my name. And I guess I told her, just call me Buzz, and I just kind of said it. I even said it like with so much confidence, I guess, and like kind of like, I had like a, excuse me, a little bit of like a attitude when I said it. But, I just told her like, just call me Buzz because Buzz Lightyear was my man, dude. Like when I was a kid, Buzz was like one of the coolest characters to me besides Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man and Buzz Lightyear were definitely like my top 2 characters that I wanted to be when I was a kid. And watching Toy Story, I had it on VHS. My sister and I watched that movie countless times, and I love that movie. Obviously it's a kid classic. Every kid has watched that at some point, at least kids around my age. But yeah, man, it's a classic. And Buzz Lightyear has always been one of my favorites, just because he's always His design, number one, obviously stood out to me. Green happens to be my like favorite color. Just for those of you that don't know, green is like my favorite color. So obviously the green aesthetic definitely works for me. I like the purple and the red. Red is my second favorite color. So yeah, he's got like the whole color scheme going on, like all my favorite colors. And he's a space ranger, man. I mean, like how cool is he? Everybody loves Woody, and I get that. Woody is like the coolest cowboy there is, right? And he's got the pull string and everything. But my guy was always Buzz Lightyear. I liked Woody, but my focus was always on Buzz Lightyear because he was the space ranger, doing all the really cool stuff, defending the galaxy from the evil Emperor Zurg, and just being a space ranger. I was always intrigued by like space and things like that. Space and dinosaurs were really big for me as a kid. So Buzz Lightyear being the space ranger, with that awesome wingspan. Every time I saw his wings open up from his wing pack, always like the coolest thing. And I always hated that when I was a kid. I had like quite a few Buzz Lightyear toys over the years as a kid, but none of them really had a good wingspan. Like a lot of them, like the wings were always like really short, and I hated that, man, because I always really wanted a Buzz that had like a nice long wingspan, like we saw in the movies. Like as you can see in this photo, you can see he's got like a nice, really wide wingspan for the wings. And a lot of the toys that they made back in the day, they just didn't do the wingspan justice. So I would really like to see MAFEX do a Buzz Lightyear. I'm gonna say a redo just because I know that Medicom actually has made a Buzz Lightyear figure already. But the thing about it is that on the aftermarket, it is dummy expensive, man. It's like over $600 now. I kid you not. If you look on like eBay, probably Mercari, whatever aftermarket sites have it, this guy, the original Medicom version that's already out, it's like over $600 at this point. And I'm just like, bruh, I don't want to spend that much on a freaking Buzz Lightyear. Like I would have to save up crazy for that. Like that's asking a lot. And there's a few things about that one that I don't particularly like. One being that the buttons on him aren't actual like buttons. They're not pressable, so they don't make any he doesn't have like a voice box for like when you press any of the buttons. He doesn't say anything. They're just kind of for show. The wingspan is actually really good on the Medicom one. As far as I've seen, it's the best one. It's got like an actual really wide wingspan, like movie accurate wingspan. It's super wide, and the detail is there. They have like 3 different attachments you can do for the helmet. So like instead of having the helmet just do like the normal like whoosh thing, like where you can open it and close it, they have like 3 different things, so that if you want different parts, you can have like the half of the helmet that's in the back of his head, so it's like raised up and you can see the face. And then they have one where you can have it like completely closed. And I just thought that was like a little bit much. I was like, I would prefer it to just be one piece and have it kind of like, just retract back like it does in the movie. So that's something different that I would want to see if MAFEX ever decides to redo a Buzz Lightyear figure. Medicom or MAFEX. But yeah, I would really like to see that as a difference if they make a new Buzz Lightyear. Also, the packaging was really cool, and it was almost movie accurate, but it didn't quite get the shape right of like the spaceship package that he comes in, which is a really cool package. I've always loved that package when I saw it in the movie. But yeah, they almost got the shape right, but it's not quite right. They didn't taper it off enough, at the top, so it kind of like loses that spaceship look. It kind of just starts to look like a regular box, and they just kind of like printed the spaceship design on it, but it doesn't quite have that right shape. So I would want to see the packaging redesigned as well. But yeah, Buzz Lightyear is the man. I mean, I loved him. I even grew up on the animated series that came on like way back in the day on I don't even know what it came on. Was it Saturday mornings or something? It might have been like ABC Saturday mornings or Saturday Kids. But there was like an animated Buzz Lightyear show that I used to watch on TV, and I think I used to also rent like VHS videos of it at the video store. But yeah, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, there was like an animated show back in the day that I used to watch as a kid. And I think Patrick Warburton was actually the voice of Buzz Lightyear on that cartoon. But yeah, man, really, really dope. Buzz Lightyear is my guy, you know. Just the coolest Space Ranger out there. Got the giant wings, got a laser. You know, Star Command's got his little panel that can lift up. He talks to Star Command. Just really cool. I've always loved the design of Buzz Lightyear, and he's just such a funny character. So I would really love to see Buzz Lightyear be redone by Medicom or MAFEX. All right, so that's number 12 on the list. Next up, we have Jason Bourne, Matt Damon's Jason Bourne. Now I know Jason Bourne was at one point played by Jeremy Renner as well. And I love Jeremy Renner, don't get me wrong, but I really want to see Matt Damon's Jason Bourne in figure form. First and foremost, because I really like Jason Bourne as an actor, or Matt Damon as an actor. Jason Bourne, the character, is obviously a badass, so I would love to see him in figure form. As far as I know, none of the figure companies have made him. So I would really like to see MAFEX do it, because they've already done like a bunch of John Wick figures, and John Wick's a pretty, big action, franchise character, and they've done like, I think version for every single movie, chapter 1 through 4. I think they have all of the John Wick figures are out now, so I would really love to see Jason Bourne also in a MAFEX lineup. I think that would be really cool. I know they would do like some great articulation and sculpt for him. I'm sure the face sculpt would look amazing. They could give him very basic accessories. He wouldn't need too much, I don't think. Just like maybe a gun. Hand-to-hand combat, he's pretty lethal already, right? But they could throw in like a pistol with him. Just something like very simple. I haven't seen like the movies in a while, but any like small weapons that he uses in the movies, they could also maybe throw that in. I know he defeated that one guy with like a pin. I'm not sure, I forget which movie that was, but he was like fighting this guy in the office, and he like stabbed him with a pin, and that guy was getting jacked up. But yeah, maybe something like that. So yeah, I would really like to see Jason Bourne, Matt Damon's Jason Bourne in figure form. So that is number 11 on my list. Next up, we have Electro, the Jamie Foxx Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I haven't really seen a solid, version of this Electro in figure form. I know Marvel Legends has theirs. I really didn't care for that figure that much. The likeness wasn't really there. Head sculpt was kind of like whatever. It didn't look like Jamie Foxx at all. The body sculpt was decent, I guess. It just kind of looks like a basic Marvel Legends body sculpt. It doesn't really feel unique to this character, so I didn't really care for it that much. The accessories were kind of, whatever. I would like to see some better like electrical effects for my Electro in my collection. So I feel like MAFEX would be really good at doing that. MAFEX have been very solid at delivering good effects parts with their figures, and that's something that I really enjoy and cherish in my figures. So I think MAFEX would do really good at making some solid like electrical effects for Electro here. This is the particular look that I would want to see. I know we also have the look from No Way Home, which is kind of more comic accurate. He has like the yellow lightning and stuff. But I want to see this. This is kind of like obviously more of the Ultimate Spider-Man design from the comics, where he's like blue. Got more of a blue look going to him. But I like this design, and I would definitely want to see Jamie Foxx's Electro done by MAFEX. I think they could nail the likeness. I think Pocket Toys or PW Toys, one of those other like third party type of toy companies, they've done a figure of this guy, and sculpt wise and like look wise he looked really good. And I think he even had like a LED thing where like his head could like light up, but articulation wise he was lacking a lot. Like he really couldn't do much. He was almost a static figure. So for that reason I would definitely want to see MAFEX take a crack at this guy, just because I think they could do a really good job at combining articulation with accuracy and sculpt, as well as, of course, accessories and effects pieces and things like that. So definitely would want to see Jamie Foxx's Electro done by MAFEX. All right, and then of course for number 9 on the list we have Gwen Stacy. This is the Emma Stone Gwen Stacy in particular that I want to see in figure form, because I feel like Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy doesn't get enough love, man. In figure form, I don't think Hasbro has ever done like a Marvel Legends Emma Stone Gwen Stacy. We have the comic version, of course, but not a Emma Stone version. And SH Figure Arts hasn't done anything with her as far as I know. No toy companies that I can think of have done a Emma Stone Gwen Stacy. So I would really like to see MAFEX, kind of get that likeness down, because Emma Stone is obviously very pretty. So I think like any of these looks right here, I think would be great. They could give her like the lab coat from the scene in Amazing Spider-Man 1. They could give her this look from Amazing Spider-Man 2. This one I think is from number 1 as well, kind of like the classroom look, or or even like the look that she has, like where she's in the hallway talking to Peter, just the basic schoolgirl look. I think she has like a skirt on and a shirt, but just very like casual type of clothing. I would really like to see Emma Stone be made by MAFEX in figure form using any of these looks. So they've got some options, and like as far as accessories, they can just give her something basic like a book or a handbag or something to carry. But yeah, I would really like to see her done by MAFEX. And they could give her, as far as like the hairstyles, they have options too. So she's got like the tied hair like that, or she has like the kind of curly hair that she had in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, there's all different types of options that they could do with the hair as well. So I think they would have a really good shot at making a solid figure of her. And if they wanted, they could throw in like alternate head sculpts. So like if you wanted her to have alternate like facial expressions, I think that they could throw that in as well. Like maybe she's smiling, or maybe she has like a more stern look, have some alternate heads as well. I think that would be really nice. So yeah, she is gonna be number 9 on my desired list. And at number 8 we have Black Panther, the Shuri Black Panther from Black Panther 2. I really want to see MAFEX make Shuri's Black Panther, because I know that Marvel Legends, they did their version, and I gotta say their version looks pretty good. It's pretty solid. I think the overall sculpt and detail on it is actually really amazing, especially for Marvel Legends standards. But I think the gold is like a little bit dull, or like kind of has a little bit of too much of a faded type of coloration on the figure. I want to see a little bit more of a saturated gold look, kind of like how you can see in this image right here, because she has like a lot of like silver and gold mixed throughout her suit. Her suit is almost like a combination of T'Challa's and Killmonger's. So she has like the black base and then all these like silver and gold highlights, and I think that MAFEX would do really good with the paint for those. So I would definitely want to see MAFEX take a crack at that as well. But yeah, so I would really like to see MAFEX take a shot at this this Shuri figure. But yeah, so I think they could do like a really good job. And then as far as like accessories, I think they could throw in a alternate head. Obviously, get the likeness down for Letitia Wright, really good. And then they can also maybe throw in like some gauntlets. I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen Black Panther 2 in like forever, like in ages. But I think she had like some gauntlets kind of similar to what she had even before she was Black Panther. I can't remember if she had that with her suit or not. But just something like that. Whatever she had in the movie, just give her that for like accessories, like whatever additional weapons that she had. I would want to see that obviously included. But yeah, I think they could do a really solid job on nailing, the sculpt and proportions and the overall paintwork of this Black Panther. So yeah, I want to see that done by MAFEX. All right, so she is number 8 on the list. At number 7, we have the Teen Titans. Now these, man, this team right here is goated, man. Let me just say, I grew up with Teen Titans. As a kid, I used to watch Teen Titans on Cartoon Network, man. And what a show, man. I mean, this is like, these new kids don't know about this. This is before your time, man. But for those the younger audience watching this, but Teen Titans is a goated cartoon, man. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and find it wherever you can stream it. I'm sure it's on one of those sites out there, but or you could they probably have it on DVD somewhere that you can rent. I don't even remember how many seasons it was, but I'm sure you can find it out there somewhere. But yeah, Teen Titans, amazing show, man. So I would definitely love to see MAFEX take a crack at this, all the animated versions, of the Teen Titans characters. So, we got Robin, Starfire, Raven, Cyborg, and Beast Boy. I would definitely love to see MAFEX, take a shot at trying to make each of these characters, because I think they could really nail it. I think they could get the animated aesthetic down for these guys, while also I feel like it would be a good balance between the animated aesthetic and then like realism, just like a slight bit of realism, but overall, you want these to have like the more animated look, because it's based on the cartoon. So I think MAFEX would be able to pull that off pretty well. I think they could get the job done if they took some time with it, and didn't rush things, and like really took their time to like sculpt and craft the sculpt and get the paint right and everything. I think these could be really, really solid MAFEX figures. And then of course throw in their accessories. I think Robin had like a baton or something that he would use. Starfire of course has like her green energy orbs and stuff, and then Raven, she has like those black kind of like energy constructs and things. Beast Boy is kind of hard, just because he's like a shapeshifter, so he can transform into so many different things. So as far as accessories, it would be probably kind of hard for him, but if I would just, maybe I could suggest like some animal parts, or like something that you could like attach, maybe like swap out his head with like something that he shapeshifts into, like a different animal or something. And then but yeah, that would be kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. So Beast Boy might be a bit of a challenge, but I think that if anything, MAFEX would be able to figure it out and maybe rise to the occasion when it came to stuff like that. So yeah, maybe like a Beast Boy figure. But Cyborg I think would be really cool. I don't think he'd be too difficult. Just give him his arm cannon and everything, give him like some effects pieces for energy blasts that come out of his arm cannon, and things like that, and I think they'd be solid. So yeah, I think this would be a really, really solid team for MAFEX to pull off in figure form, and I would definitely love to see it done. So that's gonna be my number 7 on the list. And then next up we have Supergirl, and not just any Supergirl, Sasha Calle's Supergirl from the Flash movie. Now I watched The Flash finally for the first time, actually like on a plane, when I took that trip to Europe back in like October. I actually watched The Flash on the plane, and man, I was crushing on Sasha Calle's Supergirl the whole time, man. I mean, she is beautiful, and the suit is beautiful as well. Like, I really love what they did with the suit for this movie. I love how they took a lot of the same elements from Henry Cavill's Superman suit, and they put it on her, and it just looks so amazing. I mean, it complements her figure very well, and like the cape looked amazing. I love that they kept like the same type of S symbol. They didn't change it up too much, and obviously like she has like her differences in her suit compared to his, but man, like it just looks fantastic. I really love this shot right here. I think this was a great shot. I'm gonna try to zoom in so you guys can like really see the details in it. But yeah, you got like the sunlight shining on her suit, and then you can just see like all the intricate like texturing details and line work in her suit. And then you got like these lighter blue bands that kind of come around and like right here into like her waist and everything. Same thing by like her wrist. It just looks really fantastic. And McFarlane Toys actually did do a their version of this Supergirl, and it was all right. I feel like the head sculpt definitely didn't do, you know, Sasha Calle justice. It didn't really look like her all that much, and it was kind of glossy, and I didn't like that. So I want to see like a more matte, realistic skin tone finish for you know, her head sculpt. So I think that MAFEX could definitely achieve that. And then, you know, as far as like alternate heads and expressions, I would definitely want to see like, you know, her angry face, like the Heat Vision face when she's about to like blast Zod. I would really like to see like, you know, an alternate head of that, because they've already done that with the Henry Cavill Superman for you know, Justice League. So I would really like to see them do that with her as well. Give her like an angry Heat Vision face, and like maybe for her like regular face, you know, like out of the packaging, maybe give her like a nice neutral face, or like a kind of like smiling face, you know. But yeah, I just really think that they could nail the proportions, the sculpt, the paint, give her some really good accessories, give her a like a heat, an actual like laser, like a heat blast effect, not just like an alternate head sculpt where like her eyes are like, you know, lit up, but actually give her like something we can attach to her face. And for like a heat blast, I think that would be really, really cool. And yeah, she doesn't need like too much, I think, in the way of accessories. Maybe just some alternate hands, like fist, relaxed hands like this, you know, things like that. And I think, you know, they would do a solid job, I think, with this character in figure form. So I definitely want to see MAFEX do her, because so far I haven't seen any figures that have like really impressed me. They have like a Barbie doll version, but obviously I'm not getting that. So all right, so yeah, really would like to see her done by MAFEX. Next on the list we have, you guessed it, my boy Abarekila, or Dino Thunder White. Now this guy, man, I could pretty much get this guy in any form. Obviously he's been done by toy companies already. You know, we have the Lightning Collection version, obviously, which I did my repaint for, and don't get me wrong, I love that figure now, especially now that I've done like the repaint and everything. I think I got it to pretty much exactly where I want it to be, so I'm very pleased with that figure now. But I would really, this one's kind of a toss-up. I think I would want to see either MAFEX or SH Figuarts do this one. I think, to be honest, if I'm being truly honest, I think that SH Figuarts would probably nail this guy before MAFEX, only because you know, all the SHF Power Ranger figures that I've seen thus far have been immaculate. I mean, like, they've been perfect as far as like sculpt and proportions, design, accessories and things. Like, I think SHF does pretty good. The only reason I put this guy on the MAFEX list is because I think MAFEX could not only nail like the proportions and design and all that, but I think they could also add in a little more accessories than SHF, because even though SHF does a great job of nailing like the sculpt of those Ranger figures and like giving them their weapons and stuff, I feel like they're lacking sometimes in effects pieces and stuff. And so like for this guy, I would love to see like some laser arrow effects or something like that. Obviously we already got that with the Lightning Collection, but I would like to see, you know, SHF do, or even MAFEX, you know, take a shot at making like a really good laser arrow effects piece for this guy. And what else? Like, you know, just really, I want to see like really accurate paint colors on this guy. I just noticed he's not even in the entire shot, my bad. I got to zoom out a bit, but yeah, I would really want to see this guy like done in like 6-inch form, but like, you know, really fancy with like the proper sculpt, you know, no missing paint like freaking Hasbro did, right? You know, all the colors and everything present, and, you know, highly articulated. That's what I really want to see. And obviously, you know, I'm super excited for the Susu Toys version of him that's coming out. Should be out, you know, anytime now. We're already in the third quarter of 2024, and it was estimated to be released second quarter, but, you know, it hasn't come out yet. There hasn't been any updates. But I've definitely been following it and keeping in touch with the guy who, you know, keeps he updates us on you know, all those like releases and things. So that figure should be coming out very soon. So I'm excited for that. But again, that's a 1/6 scale, so it's like, you know, twice the normal scale of the figure that I'm used to handling. So I really want to see a solid 112 version of this guy, and I think that MAFEX or SH Figure Arts could do a really good job at making a solid figure of this guy. So honestly, either one, MAFEX or SH Figure Arts. Eventually, I am going to do an SH Figure Arts list as well, and this guy will obviously be in that list, too. But yeah, I just wanted to put it in this MAFEX list because I feel that MAFEX could also do a really good job at nailing this guy. So yeah, there is my number 5 on our list. Moving on. At number 4, we have a civilian Peter Parker figure. So I would particularly want to see Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker from The Amazing Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, done by MAFEX. Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker has, of course, been done by Toy Biz back in the day, but that was like the full civilian Tobey figure. He was like pretty much just a statue. Like, it was almost completely static. Wasn't like a articulated really figure. I think only like maybe one of his arms like articulated a little bit, and like the rest of him was completely static. So I want to see MAFEX do a redo, or not a redo, but do a Tobey Maguire figure from like that first movie that's highly articulated. Give us a nice civilian Peter with this look, right? The nerdy Tobey Maguire Peter Parker from the first movie. Give us the glasses, the whole get up, the button up, the gray jacket and everything. This look is what I would want to see. And then for Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, he's got like more of the Ultimate Spider-Man type of comic look going. So I would want to see this look in particular right here: the green jacket, the blue shirt. Maybe give him a camera as like an accessory, a nicely painted camera. I'm not sure what type of camera he uses, but whatever that is, give us some good paint apps for the camera, like silver and black. Got the shoulder strap, and then this type of look for like his hair and everything. Like the younger Andrew Garfield Peter Parker look is what I would want to see. Either this look or this look right here that he had like at the end of the movie when he's like in the hallway and he sees Flash. And you can see obviously Emma or Gwen is walking away in the background, but yeah, like this blue shirt, blue t-shirt look with the jeans. I think that's another good look for like a civilian Andrew Peter Parker figure. So yeah, either one of those, I would love to see that in MAFEX form. So give us like a good Andrew figure and a good Tobey figure in civilian form, and I think those would pair up really nicely with our other like Toy Biz or even MAFEX Spidey figures. So yeah, everybody likes to have a good Peter Parker paired up, right? Sometimes in the display with their Spider-Man. So I think MAFEX could definitely nail that for us. At number 3 on the list, we have another show that I cherish dearly. This is another show. Can't talk. Another show I grew up on, and it is The Lunatics. I don't think a lot of we'll see. If you're familiar with this show, I want to know just how much of my audience is like familiar with this show, like how far you guys go back. This is gonna like kind of reveal the some of the age group of some of my audience watching. But if you are familiar with The Lunatics, comment down below, man. Let me know in the comments below if you remember this show. This is a show I grew up on. I was in elementary school when it came out. I want to say I was in like maybe 4th or 5th grade when it finally aired. And I remember I used to like, me and my friends used to like, we were nerds, bro. We used to act this out at like recess. And they were just really, really cool. Like, so it was all the Looney Tunes characters, obviously, but they all had like superpowers, right? This was like basically like a futuristic version of they lived in a place, it was called Acmetropolis, right? And so they got this meteor came and like hit the city of Acmetropolis, in 2772, I think is the year, because they say it in the theme song, and they have like it's almost like Power Rangers if you think about it, because the lady that they like respond to or like answer the call to, her name is Zadavia, and she's kind of like an entity that's always like showing up, kind of like Zordon, Zordon in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She's basically like the Zordon of the show, and she like tells them what missions they need to go on, like what they need to do, like when a new threat arrives. And so it was like, Ace is obviously the leader, Bugs Bunny, but he's Ace Bunny in this show. And then you have Lexi Bunny instead of Lola Bunny. Rev Runner, I'm tripping. Tasmanian Devil, but I think in the show he's Slam Taz, or Taz Slam. I think it's Slam Taz, right? And then you have Techie Coyote instead of Wile E. Coyote, so he's a tech genius. You have Danger Duck instead of Daffy Duck. And then you had Rev Runner. I don't know why I said that when I pointed to him. Rev Runner instead of Road Runner. So all of their powers were basically, extensions of their original characters, right? So, and then other things they had to, of course, like get kind of creative with. But Ace Bunny had heat vision. He had like an optic blast, kind of like Cyclops, like a heat vision thing. He had a sword, and I think each character had like 3 abilities or something, because they would show it in the theme song for season 1. They would show you like their profile and like all their different abilities that they could do in the show. So I think everyone had like at least 3 abilities, I think, or maybe some only had 2, I'm not sure, but it's been a while. But I know that he had like the heat blast and the sword. Lexi could generate like sonic blast from her ears, and then she also had like bionic hearing, so she could hear like super well, from like miles away. Taz, he would spin so fast that he actually like would create like tornadoes. Like he himself obviously would like become a tornado, and then I think he could like make tornadoes. I think maybe like separately from himself. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I watched, but he could basically spin as fast as a tornado, and he was super strong. Obviously, he's like the strongest of the group physically. And then you had Techie Coyote, who's a tech genius, so he makes a lot of like different weapons and jetpacks and things for the team, like all these different gadgets that helps the team out on like certain missions and things. Danger Duck, he had a quantum quack, which is I always love that. The quantum quack is basically like he would kind of disappear, like kind of phase out into like thin air. And then he would teleport. It was like a teleportation, basically. He could teleport somewhere else. So that was the quantum quack. And then he had like energy orbs too. They were basically like balls of fire that he could make with his hands and like throw. So he had like those energy orbs, and he probably had some other ability. I think maybe he could do something with his eyes, like with his vision or something, but I'm not sure. I could be reaching with that one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I know for sure he had those 2 other abilities. And then Rev Runner, he was obviously super fast. He's basically the Flash. Super speed, and then global positioning. So he's basically like a GPS too. So he also knew like, he's almost like a satellite. Like he knew like the positioning of like, or the coordinates of like different I guess places that he was at, like while he was running, or like like an enemy. Like he was so fast that he could like see like where an enemy was at, and basically like tell you like how far away they were, like a GPS. I mean, yeah, so it was really cool, man. They all had like their own unique abilities. But yeah, this was a great show, and the theme song, goated, man. Like one of the best themes I've ever heard in a show. So really, really dope show. I would really love to see MAFEX take a crack at these guys. I think they would do a great job. Give them all their accessories, give them effects pieces for all their powers. And we'd be aces, man. We'd be ace bunnies, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, great show. And I really miss it, man. It was such an awesome show. I love the character designs, like all their different colors, almost like Power Rangers, but they all have like their different suits and whatnot, but it's it was just an awesome show. The dialogue was great. It was like a real fun time. And yeah, so I would love to see MAFEX make these. And last but not least, at the top of my list, we have. Oh, sorry, my bad. We got two more left. I thought we were on number 2 right now. So at number 2 on the list, we have Aaron Stone. Now, I don't know how many of you guys remember this show, but Aaron Stone used to come on Disney XD, as you can see down here in the corner. Before Disney XD became, no, it was Jetix first, and then it became Disney XD. But Aaron Stone, man, was like one of my favorite shows growing up. It came out around the time I was in about 7th or 8th grade. I think when season 1 came out, I want to say, yeah, I was probably in about like 7th or 8th grade. So one of those. But yeah, this show, man, absolutely awesome. Kelly Blatz, such a dope actor, and I really haven't seen him in like anything else except for like one movie. But yeah, he was such a great character for this, for this show. Aaron Stone. Basically, the show, if you've never seen it, the show was about this guy, him. His name was Charlie Landers, and then he played this game called Hero Rising that was created by T. Abner Hall, which is so like he created the game, right? But he created the game so that he could find he created the game so that he could find the best player in the world, because everything that was in the game was real, right? And so there was 7 villains in the game called the Omega Defiance, and so they were all like real people, right? And so he had people that were going on like missions and working for him, basically trying to bring down the Omega Defiance, because they were all plotting like world destruction type stuff, right? And they were all getting eliminated, one by one. They were getting taken out, and so he designed the game to find the best player in the world to become the person that that was gonna take out the Omega Defiance in real life, and that happened to be Aaron Stone, or Charlie Landers. His avatar's name was Aaron Stone, right? But his real name, his normal name was Charlie Landers. He had a brother named Jason, and then the girl next door that was like his best friend, Emma, played by Tanya Gunati. But yeah, Emma was her name on the show. And then of course JP Manoa, such an iconic actor. He's been in so many things, Phil of the Future, Minutemen. I don't know if you guys remember that old Disney movie Minutemen, but he was like the principal in that movie. But yeah, such a funny actor, such an awesome guy, man. Just very funny, and his expressions kill me, man. But he's such a funny guy, and he was basically like a android that helped Aaron on like different missions, and was designed by Mr. Hall to help Aaron out like as his assistant. But he couldn't really he couldn't help Aaron really on missions, because he had to follow Asimov's law of robotics, which basically said that you cannot he's an android, right? And it says that androids cannot harm humans. So pretty much, Charlie was pretty much on his own when it came to like physical fighting and combat and stuff. So like if he was outnumbered or whatever, he just had to find a way to outsmart the bad guys and basically win. But yeah, really dope. And he always found a way to prevail in the end. And then Stan did give him like a lot of good ideas, and it was kind of like the brains of the operation sometimes when Charlie couldn't figure anything out. But yeah, really awesome show. I would love to see. This is the season 1 look of Aaron Stone, so I would really want to see like this particular outfit. I think the season 1 look is probably my favorite. The season 2 look is really good as well, which I'll show you right now is this one right here. The suit has like obviously a little bit of modifications in the second season, so it's like more streamlined, a lot less armor on it, and then like his chest piece actually just looks like kind of like a, what do you call it, like a biker's like a like a BMX biker's like chest plate or whatever. kind of like that. He's just got like some shoulder armor. He's still got his gauntlet, which shoots like a laser. So yeah, it's just kind of like more streamlined. It looks really cool. It's streamlined, but I think I prefer the season 1 look a little more. I really like how this look looks. looks right, but yeah, I really like the all black, the the gauntlet right here, the little tubing, you know, that, you know, for the gauntlet, and then these like little things. He had a what do you call it? He had like a what do you call that thing? He had one of those hook things that like a line that would shoot out, and it had like a hook on the end, so he could like zip line up. He had one of those in his gauntlet as well with the laser. He had the X5 runners, so like his boots had like these kind of like giant springs or whatever, like loaded inside, so that he could jump like really far and really high. Yeah, the X5 runners. I mean, he was just dope, man. His costume was very basic, but it was like really cool, and it, you know, it packed a punch. He had a lot of like different gadgets and stuff, and it was just an awesome show. Like overall, you know, I thought it was such a dope concept for a show. The fact that the best video game player in the world for this one game ends up saving the world in real life, and like he would use things that he learned in the game to help him in actual missions. That was like the coolest part about it. So like sometimes he would face an enemy and like, you know, get rocked the first time, and then you know, he couldn't like really figure out how to like overpower or outsmart an enemy until he played the game. And there would be like a level that, you know, Mr. Hall designed specifically for him to figure something out in the game that would help him when he actually like faced the enemy again. So that was like, it was such a cool show, man, like ahead of its time. Really cool concept. So I would definitely love to see MAFEX do a Aaron Stone figure at some point. I think that would be really dope. Let's see. So yeah, again, like season 1 or season 2 look, I think would be awesome. And if they wanted MAFEX, you could even throw in like a Emma. I would love to see Emma in figure form, and even a Stan, you know. I doubt they would make a Mr. Hall figure, just because, you know, Mr. Hall always kept his face concealed for like you know, privacy and protection purposes, keep himself safe. He would always like stay in the shadows. So even in the show, you never saw his face like in the full light. He was always like in the shadow. I mean, you could see his face, like you can make out what his face looked like, but he was always like in the shadows. So they probably wouldn't make a figure of him. But yeah, you could even like throw these two in, make some figures of them, and that would be awesome. So yeah, that's number 2 on my list. All right, here we go. Getting to the last figure on the list. Are you guys ready? This is my number 1 top most desired figure that I want to see MAFEX make. And I wonder if any of you have guessed what it is. I feel like I doubt like anybody has guessed it at this point, because this list, as you can tell, is very random. I'm really just kind of picking figures and characters from all over. These are all like things that I grew up with in my childhood that, you know, still stick with me to this day. So number 1, I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal it. We have all right, psych. Real quick, before we get to number 1, I forgot I threw this image in here too. This is Aaron's avatar. All right, so this is the Aaron Stone. This is what Aaron Stone's avatar looked like in the game. And so obviously, you know, Aaron's actual suit looked a little different, but this is the avatar. So I was gonna say that MAFEX, you could even make like the avatar version of Aaron Stone, and I think that would be really cool. If they made him like in like 1/12 scale, you know, about 6 inches, and even, you know, gave him like the game look. I mean, I think that would be cool enough too. Or maybe make like a small version of this, like a mini version, and then give us the 1/12 scale version of like the, you know, the actual suited Aaron Stone. Then that would be great too. But yeah, so they could do like the avatar or the realistic look, and I would be fine with either one of those. So yeah. But now that is out of the way, let's get to the actual number 1. Are you guys ready? My most desired figure from MAFEX, Denzel Washington's Equalizer. Yes, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I will definitely have a movie review of the Equalizer up on the channel very soon, so definitely expect that sometime soon. But yeah, this is one of my top favorite movies ever, like of all time. I love it. The first Equalizer in particular is my absolute favorite out of the trilogy. and I think, you know, it's amazing. Denzel is just probably like my favorite actor of all time. I love him, man. He's so compelling, he has so much conviction, like with every role. Like you just believe what he's saying, the look that he gives. It's like it's almost like he just, you know, looks into your soul and sees. It's like he can tell if you're lying or not. You know, he's like kind of intimidating because he just that like blank expression that he gives, especially like in this movie in particular. It's like one of the coldest things I've ever seen an actor do, and it's just like he's impeccable in this role, man. So I really want MAFEX to make a figure of Denzel Washington's Equalizer, especially from like this look from the first movie. I would say either this one right here where he's this is from a scene where he does like a gun flip on Andre. If you've seen the movie, you know. If you know, you know. But this is where he does a gun flip on one of the not cartel, but like, yeah, basically like one of the drug dealers. And he like infiltrates this warehouse or whatever, and does like a drug bust, and they've got like a ton of money up in there, and he does a flip on this guy that's supposed to be like in charge, when the guy points a gun at him, and he grabs it real quick and points it back in his face. But yeah, so like this look right here, they could give him like the blue button-up shirt that he's got on right here, and whatever pants he was wearing. I think this would be like a perfect look, but I think an even more perfect look in figure form for you know, Robert McCall, that's his character's name, if you didn't know, is this one right here at the end of the movie, when he's in the all black, you know, long sleeve shirt, like the dress shirt, and then the pants, you know, slacks or whatever, got the belt. This look right here is what I would want to see in figure form, because this is probably like the most iconic look throughout the movie. This is what he's probably most remembered in, because that last movie fight in the warehouse, oh my gosh, man, that is like one of my top like movie fight scenes of all time. It's crazy. It's so well choreographed, and we're gonna talk about all of that when I get to the movie review. But yeah, just an amazing scene, and just, you know, this very plain basic outfit I would want to see Denzel, you know, wearing for like a figure of the Equalizer. And then as far as accessories, man, MAFEX could go crazy, because there's literally like so many things that he uses in this movie as weapons. I mean, like, he literally uses almost anything as a weapon, and he almost like never uses a gun as a weapon. As a matter of fact, he only ever uses a gun to kill somebody in this movie when it's somebody else's gun, and that's like in the first fight when he kills like all the Russians in that one room, and he grabs this other guy's gun and points it at Slavi, right? That's how he kills Slavi. But that like, other than that, he pretty much like never uses a gun throughout the entire movie, except for this nail gun at the end, which is, you know, obviously not a real gun, not like bullets or anything, but I mean, nails, that's probably just as painful, if not more. So but yeah, if you've seen the Equalizer one, you know, like, he is a savage in that movie, man. He is brutal, but he's a good guy at the end of the day. Like, really, he's the good guy. He's the good character, and he does like an amazing job at playing Robert McCall as the Equalizer, man. I honestly can't really see anybody else nailing this role the way he did. No one's gonna outdo his portrayal of this character. I mean, it's like, man, it's 12 out of 10. it breaks the scale, man. He absolutely annihilated this role. I love this movie so much. I think about it like all the time. So I would really want to see MAFEX do this. Again, they've made John Wick figures for like every movie. Chapters 1 through 4 of John Wick, they have, like, you know, the Keanu Reeves figure of him. And so there's no excuse why MAFEX, you shouldn't make a Denzel Washington Equalizer figure. There's no excuse. We have a trilogy. Like, you got 3 movies to pick from. So like, any of the looks in those movies, you could choose. Just pick one and give us like a solid Denzel Washington Equalizer figure. And yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. That is my #1 pick that I want to see as a MAFEX figure. And as far as like accessories, again, they could get so creative with it. I would say definitely give him a nail gun, because that's like one of the most iconic weapons that he used throughout the entire movie. That's what he used to, kill the main antagonist. Spoiler alert, sorry if you haven't seen the movie, but yeah, he he kills him with that nail gun right there. They can give him like a book because he's always like reading in the movie, and then he used a book to actually like take out one of the guys that was coming for him in the diner. So yeah, I would say like give him like a little book. Give him like a shard of glass, like even like with like a little bit of blood on it or something like that, because there's a fight scene at the end where he's fighting a guy in this factory, a pretty big guy, and they kind of like go at it, and there's like a bunch of like shattered glass and stuff, and he stabs him with the glass, and it's it's a crazy fight. And he's like one of the only guys in the movie that actually like made Denzel like struggle for a little bit. Like the fight scene like lasted a lot longer than the other guys, so yeah. But yeah, so I would say like maybe for like accessories, throw in like a little shard of glass or something like that, and then put like a little blood on it, just to give it like that edge. But yeah, there's so many different things they could use. They could give him like a hammer, because I remember he used like a mallet from inside this hardware store. He used a mallet to take somebody out. I don't know, give him a pencil. You could just give him like any random object as an accessory, and just make sure he can obviously like use it. Give him good articulation, some alternate hands, and I would say the face sculpt is the most important thing that I want MAFEX to focus on. If they ever make a figure of him, which I pray they do, I want them to like nail the face sculpt, because he has like one of the coldest looks I've ever seen a killer have, like in any movie, man. So I would say like this face sculpt in particular right here, this look he's giving as he's looking at the main bad guy that he kills in the end, I would say give him that look. It's like an almost blank, emotionless like stare like into your soul, bro. And I want to see that. If MAFEX can somehow pull that off in figure form, which I feel like they, if anyone's going to be the ones to do it, I feel like they could do it. If we're talking like 1/12 scale figures, obviously like maybe Hot Toys or somebody super expensive in the 1/6 scale industry could do that too. But as far as like 1/12 scale figures, I would want to see MAFEX do this. Give him like some different facial expressions. Give him one where he's smiling, because he does smile in the movie too. He's not always like super serious, but he is like a mostly quiet, kind of like to himself kind of guy. So I want to say give him like an expression like this. And yeah, or maybe like a smirk or something, just like not even a full smile, just like a slight smirk or something like that. That would be perfect for Denzel's Equalizer. But yeah, so there it is, guys. That is my top 12 MAFEX wish list. Those are the top 12 characters I want to see done by MAFEX. And to sign this video off, I'm going to make a quick announcement. I actually got some news a couple days ago that a new Amazing Spider-Man figure is actually dropped from MAFEX. And as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I just reviewed this guy not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 from the DX set that MAFEX made back in the day, number 004 in the line. And it's a really solid figure, right? Despite its like QC issues with some of the looseness and maybe the paint not being the most accurate. Well, I thought, as I'm pretty sure, I said in the review, that I was just gonna, end up repainting him with like a red Sharpie and kind of customizing the red on him to look a little more movie accurate. Well, turns out I don't have to do that anymore. Why? Why, you ask? Because MAFEX has in fact made a new Amazing Spider-Man figure. That's right. Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure, that is. And it is actually based on No Way Home, but I guess they have to market it under the Amazing Spider-Man 2 for whatever reason. But that's fine with me. Honestly, I could care less. I could care less, what it gets marketed as long as it's movie accurate, right? Like if the colors are right and the accessories are good, then I could care less what they market it as. But they apparently are going to drop a new one. I'm trying to find images of it. Let's see. Let's see. I think I might actually have to search something up a little bit different. Let's try this. Medicom Amazing Spider-Man. Garfield. Because they just announced it the other day, so there's not going to be a lot of, there's really only like one image of it out there at this point, but if I can even find it. There it is, right there. Okay, so let me pull up a bigger image. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So this is like perfect. This is a good side-by-side image of the 1.0 version, which is what I have, and the 2.0 version that is yet to come out. So this one just got announced. This one here on the right, and this is the one that I have already right here, the 1.0. This guy right here. And you can see the colors are drastically different on the new 2.0 version. So you can see this looks a lot more movie accurate as far as like the coloring. You can see the blue is a lot, it's quite a bit lighter than the old blue. Not nearly as dark like the navy blue that they had before. That was on this figure right here. You can see how dark the blue is, right? Much lighter on this one, but still pretty dark, but obviously a lot lighter than what it was before. And then the red also looks really good. It's brighter, it's more saturated than the one that was previously. This is kind of like a promo picture, so like the red on here probably doesn't give you the best idea, but if I bring the figure back in, this is what the red actually looked like. And then you compare that with this new one. Yeah, this looks more movie accurate for sure. And you could tell it still has like that metallic sheen to it. So yeah, I would say this is the most movie accurate version that I've seen thus far. So this new version of him should be amazing. Absolutely amazing, pun intended. So yeah, I'm really excited for this new 2.0 version to come out. They just announced it like literally a couple days ago, so I'm not sure when it's gonna go on release or if there's going to be pre-orders for it. I think it is going to be up for pre-order, so as soon as that goes up for pre-order, I'll make an announcement about it. And obviously I'm going to go for mine, so you better get yours, man. If you're a Spidey fan, or if you like this particular Amazing Spider-Man 2 design, then you better go for it, man, because this new one looks amazing. And they're finally giving us an Andrew Garfield head. Now, the only reason I'm slightly worried about the Andrew Garfield head is because they didn't show the whole head in the promo. They only show like literally his chin and kind of cut it off right there. So I'm a little concerned for the likeness on it. I'm gonna be honest. They might not be able, I'm not sure if they were able to like get the rights for like, his likeness or whatever from Marvel. So, hopefully it turns out looking like Andrew Garfield. I'm just hoping it at least looks better than the one that we got with the DX figure, this guy, because that one was a little rough. But again, that was back in the day, only their fourth figure in the line, so kind of expected that. But hoping that the likeness for this one at least is like pretty close to Andrew Garfield. And obviously, he has like a removable mask, as you can see in this promo, which looks really good. He's holding his mask right there. So yeah, a lot of really good stuff looks like it's coming out of MAFEX, and I'm super excited. I should have known that they were gonna make a new one for him, because they announced the Toby and Tom figures not too long ago, like maybe like a couple months ago. I saw images on Instagram of their No Way Home Toby and Tom figures. So a lot of people were speculating that the Andrew Garfield one was gonna come, soon enough, and here it is. It has arrived. So they've confirmed it. MAFEX has literally like posted this image on their page, so we know that this isn't fake news because they posted it themselves, and a lot of people have been reposting it ever since. So yeah, make sure you guys follow the MAFEX page on Instagram if you haven't already. I'll put the link in the description for that. But yeah, so this should be really solid. I'm super stoked for this figure. This looks like finally the movie accurate one that we've all been waiting for, and I'm super excited for it to come out. So can't wait to hear more about this one. But yeah, that's gonna be my top 12 MAFEX wish list, as well as a little announcement on the Amazing Spider-Man figure coming out from MAFEX from No Way Home. So yeah, so there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any ideas, any figures that you want to see from MAFEX or any toy companies at all, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, your ideas. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Share the videos if you can, that would be great. And stay tuned because we have a lot more coming to the channel. So this has been your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with my top 12 MAFEX wish list. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.